How did you first begin with the research?
Well, actually, it all started while I was in graduate school, working on my PhD, and I was, I'd passed all my tests and everything, so I was doing research. And the research I did was experimental nuclear, but it was low energy nuclear. And we had this big, like 4 or 5 story tall Van de Graaff generator that produced the high speed particles. Now that's different from the high energy particle, which is hugely expensive, and you wait in line for long times to get on one of those accelerators. But this was owned by the university. And when that machine was working, you took data. And if you were awake for 3 days in a row taking data, well, that was just one of the prices you paid. Because if you stopped, I got to go to bed, there's a good chance that the machine would break and it wouldn't be working when you got back. So if it was working, you stayed with it. And I saw this ad on the door that said, learn how to meditate, and it had a bullet point, and then one of them jumped out at me and said, you can get by with less sleep. I said, I need that. So I went and took my banana and paid $25, a special student price, and learned how to meditate. And it turned out it was a natural for me. Very first time I tried, I thought I had been sitting there for maybe 10, 15 minutes, got up when somebody tapped me and said, it's time to go. And I thought, only just started. And it turned out I'd been there like an hour and a half. And it's like, I just lost part of my life. This is amazing. And from then on, every time I meditated, it was sort of like that. I would get deep in it instantly and have a lot of interesting things going on. And one day, I was sitting there in a meditation, and then I started thinking about the software I was writing.